Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah Oriowo. I talk on faith, relationship, and personal development. If you're just joining me, thank you for coming. It feels good to have you here. I'm sure you would enjoy your stay. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back again. It really means a lot to me that you would be back, and I'm glad to have you here again. Today, I would be speaking on an amazing topic, which is healing from a heartbreak. Healing from a heartbreak. In the last video, I shared that you should know when a relationship is over and move on. Sometimes moving on may not actually be easy. In fact, it is never easy, especially when it's a relationship when you've invested your time, your energy, your money, your emotions, and just everything you have. So ending a relationship is not usually easy, but there are times when it may be unavoidable and you just have to move on with your life. So it's okay to move on, but one of the things you should take note of is that you have to heal. After a heartbreak, you have to heal so that you can progress and meet the next beautiful thing or the next beautiful person that lies ahead. So today I'll just be giving you some tips on how to heal from a heartbreak. And the first tip I'll share with you is that it is okay to cry. It is okay to cry. A lot of people see crying as a bad thing, as something that should not be ventured into, as something that you should not do. But it's actually okay to cry. And I cannot overemphasize this. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let out the emotions. When you cry, it just relieves you. It makes your heart light. But when you avoid crying, you find out that you begin to feel a kind of pressure on your chest, which is not usually good for you. There are certain people that refuse to cry after a heartbreak or a disappointment, and at the end of the day, they end up being toxic. This is because they've not let out that emotion of pain and bitterness that is in them. And if you do not cry, you may end up transferring aggression, you may end up shutting other people out, and you may just end up hurting yourself. So it's okay to cry, it's okay to let out the emotions, it's okay to express how you feel, and it's okay to shed some tears. The second step that I would take, before the second step, it's okay to shed some tears, but you must know when to stop. Don't do it too much. You can't cry, keep crying after 10 years of a heartbreak. That does not just make sense. So it's okay to cry, but know the limit and stop. But just ensure, the point is in ensuring that you let out the emotions. The second point I'll share with you is that you should take some time off. Take some time off. Take some time off. It may be some time off work, off the things you used to do, of those things both of you used to do together. Now, it depends on the kind of work you actually do. If you're in a place where you can actually take time off work, then you just have to put yourself together and keep going. But if it's a place where you can take a day or 2 days just to cool off your head, and when you take time off, ensure that you are doing something so that depression does not come in, so that you don't end up doing something that you should not do or hurting yourself. But you can take some time off those normal things you used to do. Peradventure, the person who broke your heart used to play a certain game with you, and that person is no more in your life. You can take some time off, because when you go ahead to play that game, you will definitely be reminded of the person. There may be places you used to go to together, things you used to do, certain things you used to do together. You can just put a pause to it. It does not mean you should stop your life or end your life entirely. You can just pause, so that you can get yourself back and then come as a fresh person with fresh ideas, knowing that you would no longer have that person doing that thing with you. Another tip on how to heal from a heartbreak is that you should not blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. Don't take that blame of, oh, maybe I was not good enough, maybe I was not beautiful enough, maybe there's something I did wrong, or there's something I did that made him go. No, the truth is, even if you give in your best, the person who would leave would still leave. Even if you give in your best, you give in 101%, anybody who would leave would still leave. So do not blame yourself. It's not your fault that the relationship ended. It's not your fault that the person left. It's not your fault that your heart was broken. For God's sake, your heart has been broken already. So do not put on more blame on yourself. Now, not blaming yourself does not mean you should not be realistic. You can ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What was I supposed to do? What was I not supposed to do? You can assess it and pick out some lessons, but do not take all of the blame on yourself and just begin to talk down on yourself and kill yourself with your words. So do not blame yourself. The next point is that you should not jump into a new relationship too soon. Don't jump into a new relationship too soon. After a heartbreak, it's okay to cry, to mourn that relationship. You've actually lost something. It's the death of something, the death of a relationship. So mourn, cry, heal before going to another relationship. Don't just break up today and tomorrow you're already in a different relationship. That can be dangerous. And that relationship, you may begin to give in some toxic traits. You may just mess things up at the end of the day. If you jump into another relationship, that person you're going to meet may not actually be the best for you, but in a way, as a way of just ignoring or denying the fact that your heart has been broken, you may not consider all of the negative signs and just head into another relationship. So take time to heal. Don't jump into another relationship yet. Another thing is that you should not beg for love. Don't beg for love. So somebody has broken your heart. You don't have to go with 5 people from your village or your family or your friends to go and beg the person. If you do that, you've lost your dignity. You've lost your respect. You've lost the value that you're supposed to have. And at the end of the day, you'll just be a toy in the hand of the person. So for somebody to be able to look at you in the face and end that relationship with you, trust me, the person has already made up his or her mind. Because ending a relationship is not something that is naturally easy. It takes time. It takes courage. You have to keep processing it in your head if you really want to do it. So for someone to come up to you and end a relationship with you, it means it's truly over. So don't go ahead to beg for their love, except I've mentioned this before in one of my videos, except if both of you are fighting against something else. Not that you want to go and beg for that person. You are begging the person to love you. Come on, even the sound of it shows that it does not make sense. And another tip I would like to share with you is that you can pick up new hobbies and start doing those things you love. Remember, I mentioned that you should take a break. After taking a break, don't just shut your life that way. Pick up new hobbies, continue with those things you used to love, begin to heal, begin to get yourself back, do new things, do things that can distract you, do things that entices you, do things that fascinates you, and with that, it will just become easy for you to move on. You would gradually begin to forget. You may not your memory may not be erased actually, but you begin to get over it, and at the end of the day, you might find out that the person who broke up with you was not even worth it in the first place. And the final tip I'll share with you is that you should focus on the bright side. Focus on the bright side. The word of God makes us to understand that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. So if a relationship ended, know that there is a good in it. It's possible that God has seen the end from the beginning. It's possible that God knows that person, you're the one seeing him as if he has sense. He's still going to do something worse in future. And God does not want that to happen to his child. That's why he just orchestrated the breakup. So look at the bright side. What are the things I'll win? Oh, this person, maybe he even talks too much and you don't like a talkative. So pick that as an advantage and say, God, thank you for saving me from a talkative. Maybe he has the tendency of beating up his wife or his girlfriend someday. Look at it and say, thank you, God, for saving me from this kind of relationship. So look at the bright side of it. Don't just look at the side that didn't work out. Oh, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. What about the good side of it? At the end of the day, you'll find out that for everything that happens, there's always a reason. So do not focus on the bad side of it, but on the good side. So this is where I'm going to stop for today. Finally, I just want you to understand that every relationship may not actually lead to marriage. There are times when it may have to end. There are times when we may have to say goodbye, but that does not mean you should end your life. Pick yourself up, get going, and become better. If you know of any other tip that can actually help one to heal from a heartbreak, you can just kindly share in the comment section. I promise to interact with you there. It will help me learn and help others to also learn too. And If you actually enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to encourage me. Do not forget to share to others so that they can be a part of this great thing happening in here. Drop your comments, and also do not forget to subscribe so that you can keep enjoying more amazing videos from me. Once again, my name is Sarah Oriwo. I talk on faith, relationship, and personal development. It's good to have you here and have you watch till the end. See you some other time. Bye.